What's up, Wargamers? Welcome back to World of Wargaming. I'm Isaiah. Today, we're going to be digging into the very first mission of the Stargrave solo supplement, Hope Eternal. Before we get into that, I want to take a moment, throw a big shout out and a huge thank you to Will Adcock, newest member over at the Patreon. If you'd like to check that out, come support the channel. Link to all that stuff is in the description. If not, that's cool too. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the video as we get into the first mission of Stargrave. You stashed your starship in the rocky foothills north of town and snuck in under the cover of darkness. The place is just big enough that strangers don't draw immediate attention, but the sooner you make your move, the better. You've located the target building. Thankfully, it is on the edge of town, and though there are plenty of other buildings and people about, the whole place is a bit run down. You've been able to identify half a dozen guards milling about the area, a couple on top of the other buildings, the rest just wandering about. There are two ways you can play this. You can either try to bluff your way inside, or you can go in all guns blazing. Either way, the quicker you can get this done, the better, because as soon as the first shot is fired, more thugs will be on their way. What's up, everybody? So this is going to be our table for our first mission in the Hope Eternal solo campaign for Stargrave. Now, this is my second take here because I filmed it and was editing and was like, you know what? I really didn't explain any of what I was doing. And it being the first time I played the game, I should probably slow down and do that. So we're going to start fresh. So in this scenario, we're playing on a 2.5 by 2.5. We got our main central building, which is not exactly on spec, but it's pretty close. Close enough for me. And then we got some outlying buildings. I randomized which of the buildings we're going to have guys on the roof by rolling a D8 and just re-rolling the 8. Didn't have to re-roll the 8, luckily. Then we've got my crew, which I have to be split into groups of 2. And every group has to be 6 inches from another group. So we've got Granite and Splinter, Felix and Cornelius, Captain Frank the Tank and Osmandius Pollywog, Benjamin Snubtail and Dr. Odegon, and then over there in the corner, the twins Ribbleflip and Bibbleflip. I have X many turns. It's just the scenario goes until everybody's dead or off the table. So until everybody's off the table one way or the other, a lot of bad guys are going to show up. It gets really gnarly really quick. My goal is to get into this building and find a data terminal that I need to hack, and then either make it off the table with the information or upload the information. I feel like uploading the information is my real goal here, because I don't know if I'm going to survive. There are 3 ways into the building. The first is to pass a bluff check with target number 18, which gives you have some buffs if you have bribe or suggestion, which I don't. So looking for an 18, it's a will check, I think. I'll double check that, but I think it's a will check. The other way in is to pick the lock, like you would any loot token. And then the last way in is to set an explosive charge. Now, if you bluff your way in, the alarm will not sound until the end of that turn. However, if you pick the lock or blast your way in, the alarm will be sounded immediately and 4 ruffians will show up, one in the middle of each board edge. Until the alarm is sounded, enemies will make a random movement during the enemy phase, and they will not force combat, so you can move within an inch of them. Now, once the alarm sounds, if you're within an inch from them, then you're in combat with them. After turn 3, at the end of turn 3, if the alarm has not already sounded, it will sound. Is that one significant difference? I don't know if it's a significant difference, but it is a difference between the solo version, the solo supplement, and the regular version of Stargrave, is that in the regular version of Stargrave, during the first mate and captain's phases, the other models that you activate, A, you get 3 of them, and B, they have to be within 3 inches of that model, 3 inches in line of sight of that model. In the solo version, it plays much more like Rangers, where you activate 2 companions and they can be anywhere on the board. That being said, we're going to get into turn 1, captain phase. I'm going to activate Frank the Tank, and we're going to try to bluff our way into this building. Ooh, we do it on the first try. Okay, so this door opens. I still have a movement, So we're going to roll on an even. It'll be room 1. Odd. So it is room 2. I went back and checked. It is a will roll to bluff your way in. So you needed an 18. So the lowest I could have rolled with my will. Frank has a will of 4. So a 14 or higher would have been a success for me because you roll your d20 and then you add the relevant stat bonus to the dice. Just like in Rangers. Now, if you haven't played Rangers, that's why I wanted to come back, because I didn't know who may be familiar, who may be not, and I wanted to try to make the best video possible for you guys. So Frank still has a movement action left, which he's going to use to move to right here. Now, in this room, he's actually like at the bottom of the steps right there. But he won't fit right there. So I have to make do. Now in this room we have 3 ruffians and 2 physical loot tokens. My next activation, Ozymandias Pollywog, who is going to make a sprint action. So 3 gets me to here, and that will take me up to the top of the steps. Actually, I'm not going to go into room 2 yet. I'm going to stop right there at the top of the stairs. So I'm not going up and opening the door at the top of the steps yet. We're going to stay just right there. I have 1 activation left during my captain phase, and I think it needs to be to seek some cover. So I'm going to take this friend, who's going to move. This is an inch, so I'm just going up the inch. Now here I'm going to have to climb, so this is going to take me double my move. Okay, so the way I read it, I can just climb freely. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to sprint. I'm going to get to here. So we're going to go another 3, which will take me to right there. Then I go to my first mate phase. So that was my captain and 2 guys. Now I go to my first mate, who will come in the building. So that's 3, and he can only move 5. So to right there. And then he's going to try to cast a power, or use a power. So with a power, as far as I can tell, it's just a straight roll. I can't find anywhere where it says there's a modifier for it. So it's just a straight roll. And you're trying to meet the activation number of Energy Shield, which is 12. I don't know why I have an 11 written right there, but it's a 12. So I need to roll a 12 here. I do not. I roll a 9. So my power doesn't go off. Now, whether you pass or fail, doesn't matter. Before or after the power, you get a 3-inch power move. So I'm going to take that 3-inch power move to get myself over to the bottom of the steps. I then have 2 more models to activate, and Cornelius here is going to go down into the building, grab himself some good heavy cover. So I think I want to sprint Splinter, who goes, he's got to move a 7, so he'll go 6 and 1. And then he can go half of that with your movement. So when you activate the model, you automatically get a move action. Other than that, you can fight, stuff like that. Fight, shoot, whatever. Or you take another move action. That second move action is at half your movement. And it counts the fraction. So if your movement is 7, then your second movement would be 3.5. So I've got 3.5. That's going to bring me to like right beside the first mate. I have 1 action left. Granite. We're just going to sprint him towards the door. So he's going to go 5, and then he's going to go 2.5. So 2.5. Then that's the end of my first mate phase. So we go to the creature phase. Now, at this moment, the alarm has not sounded because I bluffed my way in. The alarm doesn't sound to the end of the turn. So everybody here is going to make a random movement. So when I do random movements, I roll a d10. and then whatever direction that point is facing, I move it that far. I move its movement in that direction. That may not be, it's definitely not the only way to do it, but it's how I do it. But I'm not going to film myself doing all that. I'm going to set the camera down, get all the bad guys moved, and then move forward with the round. And here's where everybody ends up. I got really lucky in the building in that all of them rolled their way, rolled a direction on the dice to walk them out of the building. That's where everybody else ended up. And then we come to the rest of my turn. Odegon moving into the building. He's going to come back to here. Twins are going to be climbing up. So we're going to go, and that does it for me. So that's the end of turn 1. At the end of turn 1, the alarm will sound, and we'll get some ruffians in the middle of each side. So captain phase. I'm going to activate Ozymandias, who is going to open the door, and this is what we see. We've got a terminal and 2 space pirates. So Ozymandias is going to move to the terminal, and we're going to try to snag this data. Normally target number 14 for a loot. You treat it as a regular loot token. Normally target number 14, I do have a deck, which means I have +6 to my roll. So I will acquire the data. If it's a data loot token, requires an action to pick it up, because you have to download the data once you've hacked in. A physical loot token can be picked up as a free action once you unlock it. My next action is going to be to take Frank the Tank with his move of 7. All right, so Frank, who is, again, remember, right here, has got 3 inches to the top of the steps, and then 4 inches into the room, staying an inch away, making sure I stay an inch away from these guys. And then Frank is going to go ahead and download that data. Splinter, who's got a movement of 7, also, he's a Pathfinder. He's hella quick, so he can go 3, 4, and then 2 inches up. So he can get, with his 7, he can get to like right there. Not quite to the mob, but to within an inch of the mob. The mob will then force combat. Splinter will use his second action to swing. I got a 14. I got to check. I know my bonus is +3. I got to check what the pirates' fight is +2. So that will beat them out. They have an armor of 11 against the 17 that I rolled. So I will deal 6 damage to them. They have a total of 12 health. Correction. When he stepped into me, he also brought himself within an inch of Frank, which means that I have support here. Support happens when you have more friendlies engaged with a model than enemies. For every friendly you have engaged, you get a +2 bonus. Up to 10. It caps out at 10 in this game. So I would have had another 2 to my roll there. So that would have been another 2 damage sustained. I have 1 activation left in my captain phase. Granite, who has got to try to find some cover. So he's going to come and jump onto here to grab some cover, I guess. They're everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. And he's going to take a shot here. So with shooting, you roll both roll a dice. I'm adding my shoot score. He's adding his fight score. And that's going to be a dodge. Not going to hit with that shot. That's okay. I also would have had a minus there. They would have had another +1 for moving. But that's definitely, when I roll a 3 and they roll a 19, that's a miss shot. So we'll go to first mate phase. Benjamin is going to, he can get up into the mix, I think. He can come to the top of the steps and then right there, which will pull a friend in. And they will fight. That's going to be I'm definitely going to hit because I am +4 to my fight score. So that's a 19 to their, doesn't matter, against their armor. So for damage, you take your number. So I have a total right now of 19. And you subtract their armor, which is 11 for the pirate trooper. And then the remainder is the damage. So I will deal 8 damage there. 19 minus 11. Yep, 8 damage. And at the end, you can choose to either step away an inch or to stay engaged. I'm going to choose to stay engaged. Your monsters will always choose to stay engaged. All right, so Felix up here has a pretty good line of sight on these two right here. So he's going to use his rapid fire weapon, which I have 2 actions available. So I'm going to burn both of them and take shots at these kobolds. Or ruffians. Kobold ruffians. So I get 2 shots, 1 at each of them. Both will have a +2 to the damage modifier if I hit. So the first one misses. Second one misses. So it doesn't matter. So I have 1 activation left in my first mate phase. Yeah, so we're going to go with Ribblethwip, who's going to move into this little crow's nest right here, which will get her range on this ruffian. And we're going to take the shot. They've got a bonus here because I moved, so they get +1. And they've got heavy cover behind that thing, so they get +4. I rolled an 18, though. They rolled a 13 plus their fight of 1. 14. Yeah, that'll hit. Because I've got +2 to this, so I actually have a 20. Correct? Ribblethwip. Shoot +2's 20. So that'll deal... That might be enough to just shoot her, just pink her right between the eyes. 9 armor, 10 health, 11 damage coming. Dead ruffian. Shot her right betwixt the eyes. That was a good use of that because now we go to the creature phase. All right, so we start with the creatures that are in combat. So it would be the one with the lowest health. I don't know if that's a rule in this game. I know it is in Rangers. That's how I normally play it, is the one with the lowest health will activate first. So this one's got 8 damage on it. This one's got 9 damage on it. So this one will activate first. It's in combat. It will use its action to swing. I got a 7. They got a 2 plus their fight. I got an 11 total, which will hit, but I don't think it'll do damage. Next will be our other pirate right here. Oh, okay. So, and he swings at Splinter because they swing at the one that currently has the lowest health. So that's definitely going to hit me. That's a 20 over my armor of 11, I think, on him. Armor 10, so that's 10 damage. So that'll knock me down to 4. This ruffian will climb up and take a shot here. The AI here is maybe a little bit different than the core rules. So you have your in combat, if yes, swing. Crew member in line of sight, yes, then shoot, and then duck for cover. Can you bring one into line of sight? If so, then move and shoot. And then if you can't do either of those things, you would make a random movement, or in this case, move towards a target point, which is the closest door. So he'll climb up and shoot. He's 7 minus 1. It'll hit, but it won't do damage because it won't beat my armor. We'll go to here. Who can move... Get him into the thing. That is going to be a miss because I do have light cover there ducking between the car and stuff. So, and my fight on granite is pretty good. 3. So yeah, that'll be a miss. This one, so he'll move down to here and then take a shot. That is a miss. Okay. And I think that makes his weapon jam, but I'm not certain. We'll go to this fellow who can move to right there. Scoot that over a little bit. Kind of grab around that building right there. And he can get a shot off. Whew, he will miss, fortunately. Okay. And then this fella can move. Just moving right there, put him in range. No, he'll have to go out to here. Whenever possible, I try, like, if they can move into cover and do their shot, I will not move them their full distance. I will move them into cover because it seems the smarter thing for it to do, the more appropriate thing. Oh, that's gonna hit me though. That's gonna be a 21 against Granite's armor 11, so 10 damage to Granite. It only takes one of them to crack through and ruin your whole day. This guy will move around, take a shot. That's a miss, fortunately. Okay. And this one can go ahead and step into the building and take a shot at Otagon. That's a miss. This one can see there, so he'll step to right there and take his shot up. I have light cover up there, which doesn't matter because I blow the roll out of the park. We got these guys up here who can both just stay still and take shots. So we'll do the little green guy up front. Hits but won't do damage. And then the ruffian behind him. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. That's going to hit for 17 over my armor 10. So 7 damage to Ribblethwip. And again, they won the roll because they had a higher number than me. And then so their total was 17 because they have a shoot stat of 2 minus my armor, which is 10, remainder 7, so 7 damage. I don't know why, but when I started playing Rangers, that was an aspect that for whatever reason took me a long time to get right in my head. And it shouldn't, because it's pretty basic mechanic, but it just messed me up bad. So this one will move towards a target point because he's not going to be able to move and get a target in line of sight and range with one movement. So he'll move around the other side of Blade Runner's car to right there. I think that's everybody. So nobody's dead yet. I'm really surprised. Oh no, I do have. So we come to me with my remainder phase, where I have Cornelius, Bibblethwip. Bibblethwip is going to shoot at this ruffian. And hit pretty tremendously. That's a 21 against their armor 9, I think. That should be enough to kill. That is enough to remove said ruffian. Good job, Bibblethwip. Okay, next we got Dr. Otagon inside of here. He's going to take a shot at that ruffian. And miss. That's okay. He's still got a move action. He's going to use it to come up the stairs so he can get to that landing right there. With his action. Granite needs to get the heck up out of Dodge. So he's going to... What can you do, bud? I think he's going to come around to this side right here. And then can I still get a shot? I can still get a shot here, but she's got some cover. 10. So that's definitely going to hit. 10 plus 3 is a 13 over their armor 9, so 4 damage to that ruffian. Cornelius may have to come out of his hole. So Cornelius is going to pop out of his hidey hole. He climbs up 2, down 1, and then over 3 to here to take a shot at that ruffian. 18 plus 2 is a 20. Will finish that one off. Let's go, boys. Let's go. That's going to be the end of the round. So at the end of the round, now that the alarm is sound, we roll a d20 and we consult a handy-dandy chart. So 15 we're going to get a ruffian in each table corner. So to back up just for a second, Ribblethwip here would have received a stun counter because he took 4 or more damage from a shooting attack. So he would be stunned. The other folks who have taken damage are it wasn't from shooting, so they're okay. So he's stunned. So he'll have a maximum of 1 activation this go round. And we've got our ruffians placed, so we're to the captain phase. So captain is going to try to use a power here. He's got a power called Concealed Firearm. It goes off on a 10. Goes off. So that allows me to make... I can't use my power move because I'm in combat. So I can't use my power move yet. I might be able to use it after. So that will... I get to resolve a shooting attack at him with +5. So 13 plus 5 plus my thing. Now here, would it be... I don't think it's just the +5. I think I would still get my regular shoot bonus. So that would technically be +8. But either way, whether it's +5 or +8 here isn't going to matter because it's enough to kill him. Because he's got 8 damage on him. I only need to deal 4. And regardless of whether I'm dealing 8, either way, he's going to be dead. But let me know in the comments if you know. That power also has a strain of 1. So I will take 1 damage for using it. However, this guy's dead. And I can then, now that he's dead, I can use my power move because now the power has resolved. So I'm going to power move this way. Just around. Okay, next up, Felix is going to take a shot. He's going to take a shot here. That'll hit. So 15 goes to 18 for my shoot. Yep, goes to 20, which is enough to plink that ruffian off the table. Good job, Felix. Way to hold it down, my man. Next, Granite's going to shuffle down and pop a shot here. That is a miss. Unfortunate. Then we'll go to, that's it for my captain phase. We'll go to my first mate phase, where Splinter is gonna go. So, all right, at least I'm not gonna get hit. So that's 4 plus 3 is 7 plus 2 for support is 9. So not gonna be enough. Benjamin gonna also swing. That's a 9 plus 4 is 13 plus 2 more for support is 15. It's got 9 damage on it. That's enough to kill that pirate. All right. We might actually be able to see a little bit of daylight here. I got 1 activation left in my first mate phase. Cornelius. So Cornelius can move to right here and shoot his pistol out of that window to right there. 9 minus 1, or no, 9, 11, and then 10. So that will hit for 2 damage. Because I moved, they got +1 to 9. And then because their fight is +1, they got +1 to 10. So my rolls still beat them. Then we'll go to bad guys, none of which are currently in melee. So we're just going to start here and work our way around. So this fellow will shoot here. I've got some heavy cover, which I needed, but I'm good. And then he's going to move out of line of sight. This one is not going to be able to bring him into range, so she'll move through the picnic tables towards that target point. This one can move and get me into range. So it will do so. It'll take its shot here where I have heavy cover from the car. We're good. I rolled a 9 against their 4. We've got this one, who I don't think can get me into range. 6. Yeah, I'm just out because I would have to be able to, it would have to get wide of here. So it will move towards the closest door, which is back there. This guy, however, I think he can get a shot on me. Nope, he's shy as well, so he'll move towards the door. That one will take a shot at Ribblethwip. I get +2 to my fight here because I'm still stunned, so I'm dodging for cover, which I needed because they got a 21 and I got a 20. No, wait. They got a 21. I got... My fight is +2. My jumping for cover is +2, and my actual cover. So I've got a 23 there. So, whew, no hit, because that definitely would have killed me. This one can now get a shot, however, so it'll move up and take the shot at Ribblethwip. It misses. Our friends back here now have a better shot at Bibblethwip, so that'll be their shot. So the green guy misses, the other one misses. Guy on the back side can take a shot at Bibblethwip, so he will. Misses. And then we've got our friend in here who will take a shot at Odegon. And, ooh, crit. So that's 25, 27. That will 100% just drop Odegon where he stands. So we got one man down. This guy will move towards a target point. And then technically this guy would move to try to get out of line of sight. So he would move to there. Same with these over here. Alright, so Ribblethwip will stand up, lose the stun token, and then take a shot at this fellow. Ooh, crit against a fail. That's super dead. Super, super dead. A natural 20 gives you +5 to the roll. And it always hits. A natural 1 means your weapon jams, and it would take an act. If he had survived, he would have been stunned, and it would have taken an action for him to fix his weapon. Good job, Ribblethwip. Way to stand up and be counted, sir, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. And Bibblethwip will shoot at this one. 16 goes to 17, 18. Will hit for 9, leaving there. And then that will also cause that ruffian to be stunned. And then my last activation is Cornelius, who will take a shot there. That is a miss. And then he will move away to right there, just around the corner from the old Cadillac Cruiser. That'll bring us to the end of the turn. So we'll see what we get on the chart. A 9. On a 9, we got 2 ruffians in different table corners. We got one up here. That's good. We like that. We also got one down here, which is trash. We don't like that. Okay, so in my captain phase, I'm going to start with Granite, who's going to take a shot with his carbine right there at that ruffian. That is a 1 on these dice. So his weapon will jam, and then he's just going to walk off the board. Next, I'm going to have Cornelius take a shot here. 13 plus 2 goes to 15. Plus 2 goes to 15. So, well, no, it's meet or beat. So that'll hit. It is not meet or beat. However, they add their fight stat, not their shoot stat, which their fight stat is plus 1. So they got a 14 to my 15, which will hit them for 6 damage and will stun them. Cornelius will then jump over here behind that cover. Then we've got Captain, who needs to do some work here. Cap can run down the steps, and he's going to stop right there so that people can get past him right there and jump over. And he's going to take a shot at that ruffian. Crit. 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 Critty, crit, crit, crit. Dead ruffian. Way to go. That's why we call him Frank. That's part of the reason. That's part of where he got that name of Frank the Tank. Is for just Leroy Jenkinson into situations where his little self probably should not be doing that. Next, we'll go to first mate phase. So first mate Benjamin can get down to the bottom of the steps here with his movement of 5 because he's right at the top of the stairwell. So 2 down, 3 down. Technically, he'd be like right there. And then he's going to try to cast a power or use a power. He's going to try to activate Energy Shield, which he does. So he now has 3 points of negatable damage. He's got a shield that's worth 3 points of damage. And he gets a power move right there. I got some more stuff to do. We're going to go with Felix, who's going to take a shot here. He's only going to take the 1 shot because there's nobody within range, so he'll have +2 to his damage if he hits. 7 plus, so I'm gonna hit, so it's 7 plus 3 is 10, which would beat their armor by 1, but it's +2, so it'll beat their armor by 3, so not quite enough. Wait, we'll have Ozymandias shoot out of this window, targeting that ruffian. Oh, that is unfortunate for me. He then has the movement to get to the top of the stairs right there. Alrighty, so that's going to bring us to the creature phase. So nobody is currently in combat. So we're going to go with, we'll start with this fellow. Well, I'm not digging through it, so I'll punish myself there, I guess, for not remembering to mark stuff. So he took at least 4 damage because he was stunned. So I know that he took at least 4. He will stand up and take a shot at Cornelius. 9. This is 11. He will hit for 1 damage. Next, we'll go here. Since somebody's in combat, I'm going in order of who's taking the most damage. So next would be here. Like if it moves to where it has line of sight to shoot Benjamin, it will be in combat with Benjamin. So I guess it's going to go into combat with Benjamin. And it will attack. And I roll a 1. It would win, but it won't do any damage, and I rolled a 1. Good deal. Next, we'll go to this one. So if he moves to right here, he can just get within range of Felix. So he'll take that shot. That will hit me. +2, 19. For 8 damage. All 3 of these will, as well as these guys back here, will be making target point moves. I also like to back up for a second and say that I did find the ruling on climbing. I couldn't find it in the movement section, but I found it on the quick reference, and I was right. It was the plus. It was 1 inch counts as 2. That's my bad. This one will move up and take a shot at Ribblethwip. That will hit. It'll hit for 6, which will take Ribblethwip out. This one will move up, will climb up, shoot at Bibblethwip, and miss. And this fellow not going to be able to get anybody in line of sight, so he'll make a target point move. This ruffian will move up to take a shot at Bibblethwip and miss. Then this one will stand up, remove his stun, and take a shot at Bibble. And hit at 21. Ooh, that'll take him down. That'll bring it to the end of creature phase. I got Splinter still. So Splinter's going to need to come down the steps. Splinter's 7. He moves over an inch, and then down 2, and then over to here with his remaining movement, where he will try to activate that loot token. That is a fail. So we'll see what we get on the ruffian table. A 1. No encounter. Nothing happened. Captain phase. We're going to start with Felix, who's going to take a shot here. 10. So that is a miss. And then he is going to come down to here, where he's kind of out of line of sight. Cornelius, who's going to pop a shot right here. That will miss, and then he's going to dip out of the scene, leaving me with Frank the Tank, Captain Frank. Move to here, and then he's going to try to upload the data. So this works just like a regular data loot roll token thing. 10 plus with my deck, plus my will, plus my deck, that's a pass. So the data has been uploaded. So even if I don't make it off the board, that data has made it to my client. We'll go to first mate phase, where I'm going to activate Splinter first, and he's going to try to pick up this physical loot token. He does not. He's then going to move into a supporting position, where Captain Benjamin will then swing at the ruffian. Captain Benjamin will mush that ruffian. Squish. He's going to move over to here. Ozymandias coming down the steps, and then going to take a shot at this guy. 12 will hit. That'll hit him even with the modifiers. So 12 goes to 14. Over 9 is 5 damage. And will stun him. And then we go to bad guys, of which there are many. But most are going to be making target moves. Yeah, pretty much that whole side of the board is making target moves. This side will be making target moves as well. Alright, so a few of these have shots. So this guy can stand up and take a shot at Ozymandias. He crits, hits, that will take Ozymandias down. This one can move up and it'll take a shot at Splinter. That'll hit and that'll finish off Splinter. Can come in and it'll take a shot on, it would be lowest health, so it would shoot at Benjamin. And miss, so it doesn't matter. This one would be able to get a shot on Benjamin. And misses, so it doesn't matter. Over here, we can move up. And there we can get a shot at Felix. Miss, so it doesn't matter. Which will bring us to an event. Let's see what we get. A 1, that's another no encounter. We gotta figure out how to get the heck out of here. At least I uploaded the data. Felix is gonna climb down, and then he will use his rapid fire here. So I get 2 shots, no bonuses. So first one against this guy. 6 plus 3, nothing. And against the second guy, which is the more important of the 2. 12 against 1, that's 12. Plus 3 is 15, so 6 damage and a stun. We'll have Captain shoot at the guy. Captain gets a 16. Nope, that'll be a miss. Captain move to here. And then we'll have Snubtail charge the man in the door. Plus 4 is 15 hits, and will finish that guy off, though. Clear the doorway a little bit, but now we got absolute hell to wither, or to withstand. We'll start with this guy. He'll move, take a shot at Snubtail. Misses, because I'm plus 4, and he had to move. This guy will take his shot, misses, and then duck out of line of sight. This guy will move in and take a shot at Snubtail. Who hits for a lot there. So that's 16 points of damage, of which luckily I have my energy shield, so I ignore 3 of those, so 13 points of damage. I have 2 left. Gonna move up here, and he will take a shot at Benjamin. Hits, and that's enough to finish off Benjamin. Nobody else is gonna be able to get in there, so they'll just make moves towards. Moves. He could. He can't move into a position to shoot, but he can move into a position to punch. So I guess that's what he would do. 12. I'm going to win that. So that'll be 6 damage to him. And then I'm going to push him back an inch off of me. And I guess she would do the same. I win, and we'll push her back. Okay, we'll take a shot at Felix. 10 to their 8 and miss. And then here we'll take a shot at Felix. And miss. And then ruffians. 7. We get 2 ruffians in random corner table there. And we get one across this section of town over here. We go to captain phase, where captain's going to sprint. Like, I can get out of this door. So that's 1 to the door. I got a move of 7. I got to steer wide of this guy. So we're going to go. That's 3. And then I got 4 left to here. And then I can run again for 3.5. There. Felix is just going to walk off. And then we'll see if I can survive this hellstorm. The only ones that matter here are the ones that can potentially get a shot on me. So those are the only ones we're going to deal with. So this fellow can get a shot. He hits, so 5 damage there. This one can move and get a shot. Hits, but doesn't do any damage, so that's acceptable. This one can move out and get a shot. That's 8 damage. Doesn't kill me, but it hurts me. And at that point, the rest aren't going to be able to get shots because of their own guys, I don't think. Which would bring another encounter thing, and then come to me, and Frank is able to walk off the board. So, even though a lot of people got shot down, that still went way better than every other playthrough that I've had preparing to play this. And I'm sure that I probably still messed up some rules that I didn't catch. If I did, please be a friend, help me out. Let me know what they were in the comment section. And if you can throw me a page number so that I can help commit it to my memory, I would greatly appreciate you. But let's go through some post-game and see what's going to happen to everybody. Okay, so first, we got to see what happens to everybody. So for soldiers, they have a slightly different chart than everybody else. So let's go through the soldiers first. So we'll start with Ozymandias. 20, he's going to make a full recovery. 9 up here is the goal. So Bibblethwip, that's a 1. He's dead. Let's go to Ribblethwip. 15, she's going to make a full recovery, but she's going to be real sad about the loss of her brother. Let's go to Dr. Odegon. He's going to make a full recovery. Let's go to Splinter. He's going to make a full recovery. And then now for Benjamin, we got a slightly different chart to roll on. So we're going to check. We're still looking for really a 9 up here. Full recovery from the first mate. So we only lost one crewman there. We lost one of our recruits. We'll have to obviously pick up somebody else in town while we have the opportunity. So we get 100 XP from the scenario for uploading the data to the client. And then we're going to get an additional 40 XP for the 4 crew members that walked off the table after turn 4. Now, we also get some XP just from the generic post-game of this. So we get 30 XP for playing the game. This is from the Hope Eternal supplement. And then we get plus 30 if a crew member was reduced to 0 health during the game. Yep. And then we get plus 10 for each power successfully activated by the captain or first mate. I managed to activate 2 powers. So that's another 20. So 30, 60, 80 plus 100 makes 180 plus 40 makes 220. So for every 100 points of experience I spend, I can give a level to either my captain or my first mate. Now with that, the captain and first mate have to stay 20 levels is that number. A captain may never be more than 20 levels ahead of his first mate. I am going to buy 2 levels, and I'm going to buy both of them on Benjamin, my first mate. So he's going to go up to level 2, and I'm going to have 20 XP in the hole. With those levels, I get to lower an activation number, which I'm going to drop energy shield down to 11, and I get to raise a stat, which I'm going to raise my move to 7, and 7 is the max. Each stat has a maximum that it can be raised to. For move, it's 7. For fight, it's 6. For shoot, it's 6. For will, it's 8. And for health, it is 25. And that, my friends, is going to do it for our inaugural game of Stargrave, running through the Hope Eternal campaign. If you're still hanging around, I'm going to hit you with a please smash the buttons for me. Hit that like, subscribe, bell notification, all that jazz. If you're looking for some swag, go check out the Redbubble. There's a link to that down in the description. There's channel merch, along with just some other generally nerdy and metalhead designs that I make for stuff. Go check it out. If nothing else, go hit the heart buttons for me. It helps push me out in that algorithm as well. Thanks so much for tuning in, hanging out while I rolled some dice today. I hope you have an absolutely amazing rest of your day. And as always, I'd like to say a big, huge, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to our patrons who support us and pledge to us over on Patreon. You guys are the absolute best. If you enjoyed the content you saw here today and that's something that you would like to consider doing to help out the channel, go over there, check out the link in the description, check out the Patreon. There's a lot of cool stuff over there, including access to our Discord server, talk to me, hang out with me, talk about our work, what we got going on in the hobby, some shout outs, all kinds of cool stuff. Check it out if that's something that you think you would be into. And regardless of whether or not you do that, I want you to know that I am incredibly grateful that you decided to stop by and spend part of your day with me today, rolling dice and pushing toy soldiers around. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And as always, may the dice be ever in your favor.